Hey, episode 1 of Fuck It, we don't know.
Episode 1 of To Be Decided.
Yeah, this is our new podcast. We have no idea what it's going to be called, and we have no idea what the content is.
So guys, we can't swear in the first 15 seconds of YouTube videos.
Fuck.
Well, that's too late. Sorry.
We bombed it immediately.
Oh, well.
It's too bad Trash Taste is taken. Because that's honestly a genius fucking...
That is. Yeah, we can't do that.
Oh.
Okay, so the Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. I can't say it. Yeah, you guys don't want to do a sports podcast?
Yeah, no,
wrong podcast. Stuck in the wrong one.
No, but I mean, it's always great when your team wins. So,
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, more interesting
sports.
conversation. Space is fake.
space is fake. Birds
Cancel them!
Space is fake. Birds are fake. The sun is fake. The moon is
Forests
fake.
aren't real.
Forests aren't real. Avril Lavigne was replaced by a woman that looks very close like her. That one's real.
Look into it. Look into it.
That one's actually like got a lot behind it. But if it flies, it spies, and the government is lying to you.
Okay.
They said chemtrails weren't real. Look at what is happening in Ohio right now.
What's
Have you seen
happening?
that?
What's happening in Ohio?
I've heard about it.
A fucking train derailed, and they're dumping fucking chemicals everywhere. It's like unlivable now.
Oh,
You basically cannot live in Ohio right now.
All of Ohio?
Yeah,
Sweet.
Dude, they have this picture.
Well,
where
Not much has changed then.
yeah, yeah, it's regular. day
I did actually see somebody talking about that, and I guess there's this whole thing where like it's like a pesticide chemical or something was on the train that derailed,
no bugs.
and it's causes cancer and all of these other things, but I guess like what they're doing is supposed to like help disperse it higher up to make sure that it goes away like as it comes back down and doesn't over contaminate like all the water and soil. But it's a bad situation either way.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Wow, you really know how to lead a conversation into a topic.
Glad
yeah.
we burned out the Ohio topic immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw some shit out there. Okay, for anyone that doesn't know, I love movies. So kind of one of the topics I want to talk about is the state of film where we're at right now. We're recording this, it's February 2023. The Super Bowl was supposed to show you a bunch of interesting trailers that you're like, I can't wait to watch it. I saw one, the Flash movie.
Yeah.
Talk about your favorite guy.
It's the best.
Catch me if you can.
The best guy, first of all.
If only I was a little bit faster.
Here's
World
the
War
thing.
III. Maybe I could have stopped it.
They can do the Flashpoint paradox 1,000 times because that story fucking slaps, man.
It does. It's pretty much like I'm not even a Flash fan, and I'm like when I hear like Flashpoint stuff, I'm like, you have my attention.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Dude, the fucking TV show fucking completely bumbled their way around the fucking Flashpoint paradox, and it was still great.
What do you want?
I don't know what you got.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Can you make the chair squeak a little bit more? I'm sure anyone,
What's up?
if anyone watches this, they'll love to hear that. If you got water, I'll take it. I'm sure they'll love to hear the constant squeaking.
It's not my
nonstop.
chair. This isn't my
Oh
fault.
my god.
The blame resides with the person whose chair it is.
Well, then you're just banned from sitting in that chair from now on.
Okay, you know what? I'll take a little bit of the blame. I fucking love this chair. Oh, hey, thanks.
Well, okay. So back to the Flash movie. So spoilers: Michael Keaton. We already knew that Michael Keaton was going to be in it. I can't wait. Not even that I was a big like Tim Burton Batman fan. I kind of like Batman Returns a little bit. The Christmas setting I like. You didn't invite me, so I crashed.
Wait, was Michael Keaton funny Batman?
No, that was. I mean, he had some funny moments.
Oh my god.
But no, that was the Penguins line where he said that. You thought Michael Keaton said that line?
No, I didn't think Michael Keaton. I know fucking Danny DeVito said that shit. Danny DeVito's the fucking...
Remember me, I'm Fred's hand.
There's a lot of questionable lines
Yeah.
in those movies.
But no, so we already knew that. New things that we found out, spoilers, anyone that hasn't seen that trailer, but go check it out. General Zod is back, which gets me super excited. Although I will say, I'm kind of pissed off about the Henry Cavill Superman thing, so therefore my excitement level is kind of... I can't get super excited because I'm like, well, James Gunn, you already told me that you're moving on without Henry Cavill, which pisses me off. But just seeing Zod again, I'm all for that. So really cool. Yeah, it's DC's version of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, I here's the thing. If they're moving on from Henry Cavill, they could be moving to someone better.
There isn't.
I feel like we all know who that obvious choice is.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Dude, have you seen the Dracula trailer?
Can you talk a little bit louder? Like you're acting like people.
I'm
are gonna be
sorry.
able to hear you.
I'm talking casually, not on a radio setting.
You're not. It's not a radio setting, but I just need you to like. It's only gonna pick up so far. No one wants to hear you whisper. Oh, you know what? I'm done. If you're gonna.
Some people actually want the fucking. All right, welcome to our podcast today. Today we're going to be eating pudding. But
I thought you were gonna say eating pussy. I was like,
I'm going to be stirring this pot of macaroni. Oh yeah.
enjoy as this tickles your ear, pussy.
Oh my god.
Well, I hope anyone that listens to this just has a fun time. I mean, that's the whole point. But, okay, we need to fucking get back on track.
Yeah.
What does this have to... Oh, yeah, Nick Cage Superman. That's what you were going with.
No, I'm sorry. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
No one cared. I mean, I care that we won, but I don't want to do a podcast about that. I mean, that's a different friends group. That's not you guys. It's cooler people.
Sorry, I feel like that was the original point. We started cooler people.
What? You start
the
choking
fuck
me
do you
right
mean?
here. You're too close, man. Okay, so...
Name the 5 greatest rappers of all time.
Dylon, and Dylon, because I spit hot fire. So something I wanted to tackle, we were talking about the movie thing. So, like I said, I feel like movies have kind of gone downhill as far as like what we've seen. Because last year, there was 2 movies that I loved. The Batman and Top Gun Maverick, which you've seen both of those.
Top Gun was amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you liked it more than the Batman.
Yeah, it was a better movie.
I enjoyed the Batman slightly more, but Top Gun I can acknowledge is a overall better movie because that movie has no flaws. You haven't seen Top Gun, correct?
No, I have not.
Okay, you don't have to like the first one, and you can still love.
I haven't seen the first one either.
Don't even need to.
Yeah.
Correct, right?
Yeah,
you don't even need.
it's just a great movie.
Someday.
Okay, but could you speak about the Batman? What did you feel about it?
It was a good movie.
Can I get a little bit more than that, please?
Startling insight.
I mean, it's kind of the first time we've ever seen Batman, actually be able to, problem solve in any capacity whatsoever.
It's also the first time we've ever seen Batman knock on a fucking door to get into a building.
Yeah, why not?
Because it's not Batman's prerogative to do things like that.
I mean, he's still kind of new. Getting the whole thing down.
Yeah, that's another thing about the movie that's a little bit off. I don't know if you can tell. Didn't like the movie as much as everyone else.
Lame.
Yeah, here's the thing, is the timeline of the movie is weirdly set up. Why is he not in Wayne Manor? Why was Wayne Manor...
He was in Wayne Manor.
No, he wasn't. He was in a fucking hotel. He was in, like, a suite at the top of a fucking...
Who are you talking about? What movie did you watch?
Wayne Manor was donated to those fucking orphans. That's where the Riddler was.
What?
Jesse, no, that's not true. Whatever they were living at wasn't... Because what do you think the setting of the movie happened? Like, where Alfred, like, the bomb happens? Like, that's Wayne Manor, son.
No, that's in his fucking suite. Google it.
Dude, I can't. No, I'm not even going to Google it because you just need to rewatch the movie because clearly you didn't remember it. That was Wayne Manor.
Yes, they're absolutely in Wayne Manor.
Oh,
this is really happening.
Wayne. Okay, so 2 of us saw the movie. Apparently,
No wonder you didn't like the movie. You didn't watch the right one.
He watched like Birdman with Michael Keaton. And was like, "What is this stuff?"
I don't understand why there was so many sex scenes in the fucking movie. Like,
He watched the new Magic Mike. Look, I got Bruce Wayne's a good-looking guy, but why does he spend his nights instead of beating up criminals? He goes to these strip clubs. I don't get it. Why would you do that? Okay, so I made a list. I made a list of a few movies that come out this year that I'm excited about. Here's kind of like my top 4. John Wick 4 comes out this year. Can't wait
I've
for
still
it.
only seen the first John Wick.
Bro, we gotta fix that. The third one is great. The second one, I need to rewatch it again. I just bought it on Blu-ray. It's okay, but the third one's great.
Okay.
The Riddler Batman film, early life, orphaned from a young age. Edward Nashton, that's not his name.
Right, his name's Edward
Nygma.
Nygma, yeah.
Edward Nashton grew up in Gotham Orphanage, the former Wayne Manor, donated by the family after the completion of Wayne Tower. That's right, he was in Wayne Tower, in a fucking suite at the top of fucking Wayne Tower, which made no sense. Any city infrastructure is going to be like, why is there a fucking cave at the bottom of Wayne Tower?
But I don't think that's right, because the way the inside looked, that doesn't look like that would ever be a former office building. That looked like Wayne Manor on the inside.
It wasn't an office building. It was meant to have like people live inside of it the whole
Okay,
time.
well then I wish they would have explained that more if that's what they're actually going with.
It was. Well, that's why I'm so fucked up about this. Is because I was like, why was the Wayne Manor fucking donated? Why did fucking the Riddler grow up in Wayne Manor, and why was the Wayne Manor such a fucking shithole? It doesn't make sense. If it was donated because it was an orphanage.
So I have a few. I want to get to the movies that are coming out. We can finish the Batman topic. I'm not going to move away from it all the way. But okay, so John Wick 4 comes out March 24th, so that's a little over a month. That's actually pretty good. March 31st, I meant to talk to you about this. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes!
I saw the trailer and I was like, that actually looks kind of good.
Dude, it looks so good. I mean,
You seen the trailer?
They fucked up a couple of parts. They have the fucking druid.
Chris Pine's in it.
Yeah, they have the druid turn into an owlbear. Fun fact, owlbear is not a beast. You cannot druidcraft into a fucking owlbear. I know I said druidcraft. Don't at me about that.
I eat too much pussy for this conversation. I don't know what's going on. Just kidding.
I eat the pussy of Tamriel.
How many people get that reference? They're gonna hear
Nobody.
this.
I'm pretty sure Tamriel's not even D&D. I think that was a fucking World of Warcraft thing.
April 7th, Brennan's got a movie that's coming out for him. The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Dude, I'm excited for that.
That's the weirdest looking shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't
Dude, that
seem
movie
like.
looks amazing.
Look,
It looks funny.
if you
Looks like a
went,
good time.
if you went and saw it and you were like, Porter, do you want to come along with? I'd be like, yeah, like I'll go along with you, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to see that movie.
The fact that the voice is just Chris Pratt really unnerves me.
It's not that bad.
I
People
want-
blow that so out of proportion. It's
should-
really not
I
that
want
bad.
the fucking like semi-racist Italiano fucking.
Hello!
Yeah, it's a me, a Mario.
So long, Gay Bowser!
yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna be disappointed if they don't have that line?
I'm gonna be disappointed if Mario's
Definitely
not.
not gonna have that line.
Can't wait for the comment section. People are like, that's not what he said. He never said so long, Gay Bowser. It's like, I know, that's what I heard.
Everyone knows that's not what he said.
Everyone
That's
knows
what I heard.
He says so long, King Bowser, but boy, does it not sound like that.
So May 5th, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We can just skip that because let's be honest, nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares anymore.
No.
Do you?
I haven't watched any of them.
Well, there you go. That's how much intrigue we got in
A
Marvel.
late run. Marvel's kind of gone a little bit downhill. In fact, most of Disney has gone pretty much in the shitter.
I haven't watched anything Marvel related since
Endgame, really.
Endgame,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. I still didn't see the new Thor movie because I heard it wasn't good.
I guess
Well,
I heard that they
that's not
finally admitted that they're releasing too many Disney Plus shows, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah, you guys, it's overkill. It's like we can't keep up with it, and then you're trying to tell us like, oh, did you catch that? Because we're gonna have a reference here. If you saw that show, and if you saw this show, like this all connects together. It's like I don't have time to do this.
Yeah, it's like I don't want it to be a full-time job to keep
I
up
would-
with Marvel movies
I
and
would
shows.
love for there to be like this many shows if they were worth watching, but it's
that's another.
garbage.
Well, I think the way you know, just to kind of cut back to it, like so the Batman. Do you remember I kept showing you guys that animated trailer of the trailer for the Batman movie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I said, and many people put in the comment section, if you did a Batman show that was in that style, oh my god, like how awesome would that be? For Marvel, if they did more stuff like that was like animation where you could do things that were different, I guess, because with animation you're not restricted by the laws of like actually putting it in, like real, you know what I mean, shooting it for real.
Yeah.
So because of that, I feel like that would open the door for like a cooler take on a lot of these characters. Like if we got a dark animated, like let's say for X-Men, since they have the rights, like, a Wolverine, like a dark X-Men show, we would eat that shit up.
Absolutely. I feel like aiming a little bit darker would be way better. You could do things like have Batman drag a fucking car behind his goddamn Batmobile, toss people around, and be like, they lived their cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that like there's kind of a little bit of a stigma in Western countries against animation, though. It's true. Like, people look at animation as like it's a thing for kids.
I would argue that like most of these characters are kind of for kids. At least the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, but like there's a certain stuff, because it's like people consider anything animation for kids unless it's in like the Family Guy style kind of thing.
Yeah,
or I guess now what's it called, like Rick and Morty and stuff.
Yeah,
like
Bob's
that.
Burgers, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that stuff. People are like, oh, this is more mature, but like people kind of miss that, like, hey, you can actually have like really interesting, cool animation that's very much made for adults.
I think your target audience for this stuff should be like 13 and up, where like you put stuff out there that like if an adult watched it, they would be like, wow, this is pretty cool. But at the same time, you can also aim it at like high school kids, where it's like, this is no, but I feel like that's the sweet spot.
There's a problem with aiming for a target audience. I feel like the target should be writing a good fucking story.
No, it should be. But what I'm saying is like because it's Disney with the Marvel stuff, if you say, well, how do we make the most money or whatever, a lot of times they'll just be like, well, let's like pitch it to kids, and that's why you don't get like we didn't get a mature Wolverine movie up until like Logan. Before that, they were like, we don't want to have him show blood. Can't have blood in there. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's a big part of like who Logan is in the comic books. Like, he does kill people and does get blood on his hands.
No.
So, like Deadpool, they made Deadpool rated R.
Yeah.
But if they hadn't...
I still feel like Deadpool's a little bit, like, too goofy.
Oh, I agree. It feels like a comedy that...
I mean, Deadpool's life is actually like that, but I feel like they aimed in the wrong direction. I rewatched the first one, and I was like, yeah, like, I liked it, but I didn't... When people act like that first Deadpool movie was like, I don't know, like an 8.5 out of 10, where it's like, one of the best comic movies I've ever seen. I'm like, it's really not. It's a very simple story. If we could include some of, like, the old school cartoon cast from the fucking X-Men and things, that would be the best. Specifically, people like Cyclops, Jubilee, and fucking Kitty. I just feel like they're interesting characters.
I want all like the X-Men stuff. I want it all to be in like a new show. Like I want X-Men Evolution, like that style. I just want it like continued in like with 2023.
I want X-Men De-Evolution, and it's just the dumbest shit of all time. People are using their mutant abilities for the most degenerate shit of all time.
But there's a new powerful mutant. He spreads ignorance to everyone.
You heard of Professor Xavier and his foundation.
They make like a bizarro version of like Professor X.
Oh my god.
What's your superpower? I make people dumb.
And I can make it spread to everyone. Because in X-Men 3, The Last Stand, there was that kid that if you got close to him, your mutant powers would go away. Yeah. They need to do that. Just with intelligence. Your intelligence goes away when you get close to him. Jesse, that could be you. We should pitch that.
Oh my god. So I just dropped the intelligence of everyone near me. Telepaths just...
Okay. Yeah, okay, so we'll talk about that. So Fast X, otherwise Fast 10, which someone made the joke, I don't remember if it was you or maybe I saw on Facebook, maybe it was one of my old buddies. They had, like, for Fast X, they should call it Fasten. Like, fasten your seatbelts, but, like, Fast 10. Anyway, how much family is going to be in this movie?
Yes.
If there is another word spoken, they failed.
If this movie isn't, like, a Medea's reunion, like, movie, like, then I'm going to be disappointed. Because that should be, like, Fast 10 family, like, and just have like everybody's family, but like their whole family reunion, and you add them together. I want like 250 family members, and they just take like they fight like Al Qaeda or something like that. And they're like the power of family can't be stopped.
I want The Rock to look directly into the fucking camera. What the fuck? What do you mean?
Him and Vin Diesel don't like each other, so they can't be in the same movie anymore. That's why The Rock was like, I need to be in my own thing with Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay, fine. What the fuck ever. Have Vin Diesel look directly into the camera and say, family.
He's done that like the last 7 movies. Has he not? Dude, I hit my
Oh
breaking.
my god, I think
I hit my
actually
breaking
has.
point in the 7th one. Even though I did like the 8th one, but I hit my breaking point in the 7th one whenever he sits there and he's fighting like Jason Statham, and he, no joke, this is supposed to be real-ish, stomps, and a concrete like garage falls on Jason Statham, and he's like, "The streets always win," and I was like, "What?" Like, just by him stomping, he brought the whole thing down.
Maybe he knew that section of like roof was really weak, and that like there was like a spot that was like extra jiggly, and he was like, maybe.
I mean,
That's like one of those things where the person is just like, during this fight, I calculated that this exact pinpoint location was the weakest point of the structure, and if I stomped right there, like that's like anime smart.
I know. I
person
was gonna say
shit.
that sounds like Dragon Ball
It's
Z.
so ridiculous.
Yo, that's that sum of that like the normal average room has 14,000 trillion atoms in it, but
I've
this
seen,
one
I
has,
have seen that video.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
this one has more. He's like, how do you know that?
Dude, what?
Okay, we got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, June 2nd. I still haven't seen the first one.
Anything Spider-Verse related is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
When are you guys gonna have me watch it?
When do you want to watch it?
Yeah,
I've been down
download
to
it right now.
No. What? I mean, we watch it together. Like, I don't want to just watch it by
Let's
myself.
download this shit right
You actually
now.
are willing to watch it tonight?
Yeah, I will pay for it. Yes, this movie fucking slaps.
You just sound so stupid when you say that, but okay.
I'm spreading my ignorance.
I don't know about you guys, but Transformers: Rise of the Beast, the 6th Transformers movie, that comes out. That's got to be good.
The Rise of the Bees? Is that what you said? Is Bumblebee really just taking over? What's happening?
I just farted.
Wait, like what did you say?
Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast.
Oh, Rise of the Beast.
I thought you were like Mark Wahlberg. You guys don't want to know about the Beast?
Dude, I thought like
So
Bumblebee was
fucking
taking.
stupid.
Okay, in my head, I'm calculating this possibility that Bumblebee has been recreated like 100 times, and they're just mass producing evil Bumblebees, and it's Rise of the Bees.
Okay. Anyway, can't wait for people to react to that one.
What the fuck?
Okay, The Flash that comes out June 16th. We've kind of already talked about that.
Hell yeah!
Can't wait for that. Jesse, I honestly, real quick, I do think it has a chance to be like possibly the best DC movie that's ever been made.
I mean, the bar's not very high.
They are.
That's
going
not.
to
That's
fuck it
not.
up.
But that. I know that's a funny joke, but I'm gonna disagree with you because
There's-
like,
there are some good
The Batman
ones,
Begins,
but-
Dark Knight, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman. I think we ran out. I think that's it. Right?
No.
I think it's pretty much it. Watchmen's technically a DC movie.
No.
No, it's owned by DC though. It's technically. Technically.
The villain from the Wonder Woman movie was fucking awesome.
Ares?
No. Oh, the other one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Woman
26. That was not a good movie. You're talking about
The villain where
Oh,
he's
you're
like,
talking Pedro Pascal.
It could be better.
Yeah.
Dude,
No.
I loved that
Yeah,
guy.
no. he was-
Apparently, most people fucking hated him.
Wow,
I didn't.
really?
I thought he was great too. I really enjoyed it.
Do you remember, like, when we saw the movie, kind of my take on Wonder Woman 1984 was that I loved the lesson of the movie of, like, you know, that you
Did I
want...
say Wonder Woman 76?
Yeah, you fucked it up. I love the lesson in the movie, and I actually like Pedro Pascal, but I just think there was a lot of choices in that movie that just came across as really cheesy, and it didn't work.
Okay, it was a really cheesy movie.
Yeah, but there were some things that I thought really did work.
I actually still enjoyed the
Cool
cheesiness. I
also-
enjoyed the cheesiness and campiness of it.
Cool concept for just a feature film for a comic book, because what happens in that movie, you would definitely see if they made a Wonder Woman like animated show in the early 2000s. That would definitely be an episode. They'd be like, let's introduce this character, let's introduce this rock. Some guy starts wishing and gets all this power. It's like you come to find out that that's not going to give you happiness.
Yeah.
So, okay, probably my most anticipated movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Why is that your most anticipated movie?
It's Indiana Jones.
Thank
It's
you, brother.
not going to be Indiana Jones.
You have no idea. Just because
they're going to do some weird...
Shia LaBeouf's not in it. There's no
Shia LaBeouf, I wouldn't have a problem with.
He has actually said there's not going to be aliens this time.
aliens, no swinging on vines with CGI monkeys. That's not in here. CGI ants. That's not in here.
They're going to be real this time.
Okay, Harrison, we need you to actually be covered in ants.
During the filming of this movie, 3 different cameramen got eaten alive by monkeys. In honor of Tom Pedro.
No, I thought you were gonna say like Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise does all this stunts for real. So like Harrison, sorry,
Tom Cruise was eaten alive by monkeys.
Harrison's like, you serious? He's like, yeah, maybe, yeah. The last Mission Impossible.
We have to keep it in the movie, or he died for nothing.
The only thing I'll say about the trailer is that the CGI does look a little wonky. Because they've had to put some CGI in that movie. I hope it's not too much.
Is there a trailer?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
Yeah,
trailer.
well, I'll show you afterwards. Okay. But yeah. I have high hopes for it, like as Brennan said. Basically, it's Indiana Jones. The last movie.
High hopes?
Shut the
for
fuck
a
up.
living?
Shut the fuck up. The last movie that we got was 15 years ago. We were in high school at that point, so. You guys are old. Shut the fuck up. All right. Next, what do we got? Mission Impossible Dark Reckoning Part 1. This is Mission Impossible 7. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize for this. Mission Impossible basically has one movie that's not that good, and Jesse still likes it, and it's Mission Impossible 2.
That movie is the pinnacle of cinema.
Why? Because the doves that are everywhere?
The doves that were everywhere, and the fact that, like, Tom Cruise was stronger than God in that movie.
He's not joking. He basically was God in the movie.
If God came down from heaven and was like, no, they're getting away, Tom Cruise would just pull some crazy motorcycle flip bullshit, land on some pigeons, fly off of those. He would pull something to get through the fucking impossible mission.
Multiple things that he does that are crazy in that movie. He survives like jumping like all the way across like a rock landscape in Australia and doesn't die, and he's like holding on. He's like, all right.
You know, he actually did that.
I'm sure he did. It's Tom Cruise. I mean, he does everything. But anyway, the crazy thing, I mean, he actually found a girl that was like willing to stay with him.
Yeah, impossible. Mission impossible.
Because I mean, every girl's like, "Well, Tom, you're like 5'6". Like, why would I want to be in a relationship with you?" I mean, that's what they don't
talk. Is he really?
About. Yeah, he's short.
What?
Tom Cruise is short. He's like 5'6" or 5'7". Yeah, he's not very tall. Okay, another Google trip. Okay, I'll waste time fucking doing this.
Wow, the first Google trip
this
proved me right.
This entire thing is a waste of time. What are you talking about?
Exactly. We're wasting these people's time.
Well, for the 3 listeners that we have, they might actually enjoy this.
I thought it was like 30.
He's 5'7".
5'7".
Oh, I guess
See,
if
you
we're
were fucking wrong.
No, I guess if we put it on the right channel, yeah, I guess.
It's the second time.
40...
You guys were like, they didn't donate Wayne Manor. Fucking.
That doesn't mean that they didn't have Wayne Manor by the end.
Okay.
Did they blow it up?
Well, so
what? No. That's not what I'm saying.
They tried to blow. No, oh God!
Real quick. So who's caught up on the Mission Impossible movies? We saw the 6th one together. I remember that.
Is that the one? I have no idea which ones I've seen.
Which one's the one with Henry Cavill?
I've seen
that was the 6th
3.
one. Did we all see that together? I know I definitely saw it with Brendan.
Yeah, I've seen that. I thought that was good.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
No, I've seen that.
Okay.
Because I remember Henry Cavill.
The 5th one was Ghost Protocol, which came out in 2015. That one probably is my favorite.
I have no idea if I've seen that.
Okay. Like I said, it's hard to describe them because they all kind of blur together, but they're all great. No.
They do.
They're not distinct like where, that one movie, it's not like a Bond film. A Bond film like stands out as its own thing. The Mission Impossible's kind of blur together, but they're all, like I said, aside from the second one, which you're literally just making a joke out of it.
It's so fucking funny though. Mission Impossibles are like Disturbed.
Okay, but except like these are actually good and the Disturbed songs are not.
I like them.
The greatest hit of Disturbed.
It's just one song that never ends.
Can you defend your Disturbed fandom?
I don't want to.
Okay, but you are a fan.
Yeah. 10,000 fists in the air?
Is it more nama?
Yeah.
I don't know where he came up with
Devin.
that. Anyway, we've all seen at least the last Mission Impossible, so I think you guys are kind of caught up. But yeah. I don't even know where they're going with the story. The bottom line is that's not what we watched Mission Impossible for. We just watch it for the stunts and we watch it for the pure action. It's kind of like what Top Gun Maverick gave us last year, where it's like, hey, we just want a good reason to go to the movies, to like watch something that took craftsmanship and like time and is like worth going to see.
That reminds me, I still haven't watched Dune.
You?
Yeah, I still haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it either.
Okay. I've showed you that clip of them speaking the language.
I've only heard good things so far.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's worth watching. I didn't love the first one, but I was like, they just need to set more stuff up. So I was like, it's possible that the second movie makes the first one better retroactively.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's definitely worth watching. And the cinematography, the best guy the best director going right now, Denis Villeneuve, which that's not how he says his name because he's French. It's like Villeneuve. But he's like the best director going. I think he's even better than Christopher Nolan right now.
I just like the fat dude in the oil, where he's like, it's my Dune, Dos Equis.
My Arrakis, my Dune.
Right.
Yeah.
What's Dos Equis?
He doesn't say Dos Equis, Jesse.
He doesn't?
No. He's like, and the desert takes the weak. He's like, and then he just starts fucking rising up with his fatness.
Desert. Yeah.
It's awesome. He was my favorite part. Everything.
He's got long legs.
The main character and everything I didn't really care for, but just him, I was rooting for him.
Yeah.
I forgot what house they're called. Some Dune fan's gonna correct me in the comments. Like, fucking idiot.
House worm.
No.
But that's what it's all about. It's the fucking worm with all the teeth. The most cursed fleshlight of all time.
House Harkonnen. That's it. Harkonnen's the bad guys. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to the movie release. Anyway, yeah, Mission Impossible 7. I don't think we're probably not going to get anything special, but it's like just more cool stunts. Tom Cruise is 60, still going, and yeah, I don't know. They haven't, like I said, the first one came out in '96. Was like a kind of American version of James Bond. It was pretty cool, except it was kind of it was a MI team, a Mission Impossible team. Is it MI? It's not MI6. It's ILM. No, what is it? I'm being retarded.
It's IBS.
No, it's not.
You were going to agree with
I have
me.
no idea what we're talking about anymore.
The Mission Impossible
Blocked
Task
me.
Force, IMF. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Impossible Missions Force. Okay.
IBM.
Anyway, the first one was really good. And then they took like 4 years off. Then they had MI2, which was a mistake, which Jesse still likes, but I own it. I can't deny. And then the third one was 06. Philip Seymour Hoffman. We quote that all the time. There's an explosive charge in your head.
Sound familiar.
God, love it. Philip Seymour Hoffman, was he not a great villain?
Yeah.
He was great. Yeah. You don't think I'll do it? The rabbit's foot? Where's the rabbit's foot? Yeah.
I want to see if she really does.
Yeah. We'll get
Really like purple.
We'll get to the Batman. We'll get there.
No one listening to this will catch that reference.
Go check out Kevin Smith's Fat Man on Batman podcast. The older ones, they're the greatest.
Don't send people to a better podcast. What is wrong?
Yeah, but
with you?
the newer episodes have sucked for like the last 6 years because they do it.
Well, now you're insulting Kevin Smith.
I love Kevin Smith, but the reality is, ever since they went to the live version, it's just not as good because they can't. It's like if we did this in front of a live studio audience, we'd basically be having to entertain the audience and not be focused on like actually just being ourselves. Because they're in the middle of like, what do you guys think of that? And they're like fake fucking claps, and it's like, dude, we just want to hear you talk and
Play the soundboard.
yeah, do the cool stuff. Okay, but yeah, Mission Impossible. I have no doubt that'll be good. Let's see if we have anything else.
We need a soundboard.
The Meg 2. Did you guys see The Meg? I never saw it.
No.
Megalodon.
Wait, no.
It's a megalodon.
No,
Why
that's
are they
not
making
a movie.
another?
That's not a movie.
It
They
is a
didn't
Meg.
make a sequel to that movie.
The Meg 2, The Trench. Yeah, it's coming.
Jesse, do you understand all shark movies get multiple sequels? All of them. There are multiple Sharknado movies.
Okay, but the point of those movies is a little bit different. It's literally designed to be a diuretic.
Jesse, there's like 7 Jaws movies.
Jesse. Hold on. Did you know they're making a Kraven the Hunter movie that comes out next year? Or this year?
A single Kraven the
October 6th, Kraven the Hunter movie.
What is that?
Kraven is one of the Spider-Man villains that no one ever talks about or acknowledges.
Yeah, he's one of the worst Spider-Man villains.
Oh, I
because-
disagree.
No. I mean, like, he's one of the, like, badder Spider-Man villains.
That Spider-Man can't really mess with.
Spider-Man kills him at a certain point.
Because he has to.
He gets to this point to where he, like, dons the black suit again, which is, like, what he dons whenever he's like, I'm just murdering. And he goes and kills Kraven. Actually, I don't think he kills Craven. He convinces Craven he's fucking worthless and convinces Craven to commit suicide. One of the darker fucking Spider-Man parts. Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. Craven's a bad man. And,
Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, that's coming out. There's no trailer for that yet, so that's October 6th. We have Dune Part 2, which is November 3rd, which, yeah, at some point we'll get around and we'll watch Dune 1 with you guys. Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm not pretending like you guys are going to
how are they making another Hunger Games?
I don't know.
I thought it was over.
I thought it was over too, and then I just saw this like a week ago and I checked it.
It's the sequel where they're like, actually, you know what? You know what I could really go for right now? You remember that time we were like forced to kill each other?
Let's bring it back.
Yeah,
You know,
Life's kind of boring right now. Peace is boring.
times.
The Romans had it right. Let's bring the gladiator, the Colosseum back. So my take on the Hunger Games, the first one I was like, meh, it's okay. The second one, Catching Fire, I really got involved with that story where like I really cared about it's gonna sound like lame, but like I really cared about like the relationship, the love triangle, because I'll be honest, I had a big crush on Jennifer Lawrence. And so I kept trying to put myself in that movie of like, I'm the guy that like, okay. But anyway, yeah, I rooted for the underdog kid. I think his name was, it wasn't PETA, because that's like the, you know.
PETA. The horses here.
It's what was his name? It was something like that. But anyway,
Yeah. What? What are you laughing at?
what was his name? Hunger Games kid.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
Have you not seen that stupid fucking clip of Family Guy?
Yeah, no, his name was PETA. Yeah.
Lois is
PETA.
just, they're all sitting at the kitchen table and a horse walks in and Lois just goes, PETA.
His
the
name.
horses.
Oh, that's different. She's saying PETA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. No, his name was PETA. PETA Millar. Anyway, no, I really got involved in Catching Fire, so I really liked that one a lot. And then the last two was like, I don't remember what they called it, Mockingbird and Mockingbird Part 2. Those, Mockingbird Part 1 was kind of boring, and Mockingbird Part 2, the resolution wasn't worth, I thought, like the whole build-up. So.
But yeah, because didn't they do like 2 parts of it, because that was right around the time that Harry Potter.
It was a couple years afterwards, but yes, that was when that was in vogue, where it's like, you can't split it up.
Yeah, they were like, we have to do the last one in 2 parts because it makes more money, but it's a way shittier movie.
Mm-hmm. Even like The Hobbit, I think we've talked about this, not obviously on a podcast, but The Hobbit, in hindsight, I think what would have made it better is you split those 3 movies up into 2. I know Peter Jackson was like, oh, I have a lot of stuff I want to put in these movies. It just
definitely should have been 2 movies.
Right, because it doesn't work. It feels too drawn out where it's like, what are we doing? It just feels like we're wasting time.
Yeah.
I think it works perfectly as a, unexpected journey, stop, and then there and back again, and then you finish it up. And then they have a Wonka movie. I just watched Willy Wonka with my daughter. She loved it. Talking about the 1970s one, not the Johnny Depp one. I don't count that one.
Johnny Depp did a Willy Wonka movie?
It was called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
The original is called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because even though the new one, they were like, Charlie's the main star. It's like, let's be honest. Like, if Willy Wonka's not in it, who cares? Charlie Bucket's not a special kid.
Bucket.
Nice. Okay. Way to keep the conversation going.
You're really good at this.
Yeah, you are really good at this, Jesse.
Oh, man.
Bucket.
God, do you really not know what to say if I don't lead us into a topic? You have no idea what to say.
I'm sorry. I'm stuck in the fact
I'm
that
always
stupid fucking kids.
I'm always astounded at how fucking dumb you are.
I'm stuck on the fact
You
that
know how
kid's
people
name
have
is
a bucket
fucking
list?
Bucket.
I got a bucket list.
My name's Charlie Bucket.
God, can we just like do a segment here where we just like, because I just referenced the Kevin Smith Harry Potter fucking podcast. Dude, if you want to laugh, go check out the Harry Potter are they commentary tracks? I don't think they are. They're just them talking about Harry Potter. No, they're just talking about Harry Potter. They don't actually watch the movie.
Can we just...
Did we not do that? Did they not do it in that one?
No,
I don't remember.
No.
It's been so long.
What?
What's, like... So, your last name is Porter.
Yeah.
And that's because, like, there was a family of men... Like, Porter was a job. Where do you think Bucket came from?
From a bucket.
What do you mean?
I actually just recently watched a video about this. They talked about this, and apparently...
the fuck?
No, it was about surnames. Whenever
Okay,
people
I
first
thought-
started getting surnames.
Okay, but I thought you were gonna say I've recently looked up like the bucket.
The
last
name
No,
bucket, bro.
no, not necessarily, not about that. But so when surnames, I guess, first started becoming like a big thing across Europe was like right after the Black Death because of the like they had to basically move around all the workforce because they didn't have enough people anymore to like manage all the jobs and grow all the crops and everything. So in order to differentiate themselves, people started to have to take up surnames, but in certain places people didn't really understand the implications of having a surname, and so they would have things that would translate to like just dirty jokes and shit. And they apparently there's quite a few of these in across Europe where it's just like these long-standing names, and they're all like, but they'll have like dick jokes and butt jokes and stuff because they didn't understand the implications of what they were really getting into.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
So it's perfectly possible that somebody was just like, I'm just going to make my last name Bucket. Who cares? And then generations upon generations down the line, they're like, who's the motherfucker that decided our last name was Bucket?
Oh, by the way, before you start making implications about my last name and my family was just a bunch of people that just move shit around, the translation... Oh, I took offense to what you said.
I'm sorry.
The translation of Porter, the Old English translation is gatekeeper, not transportation. So fuck off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you above portering? It's a very hard job. People who grew up and had that name would have to be fucking jacked, fucking lumberjack looking motherfuckers.
Is that where I get my girth and my fat?
Probably, yeah. Porters were like fucking Vikings, man. That's an insult?
No, that's not an insult. If you're saying I have Viking DNA, I told
It
you.
is. That's what they fucking
my
did.
DNA test had actually like whatever that area is, the Norwegian area. I don't know. Sweden,
Yeah,
Sweden. I have a lot of that section of the country of the world was highlighted.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm basically Anglo-Saxon as white as can fucking be because it's England, Ireland, France, that section, and then like Germany, and that was my heritage. I thought I had Native American in me. Didn't show up at all.
Oh man, we've got like we can look back like 4 generations back or some shit. We've 100% like people that were like 100% no mix of anything else Native American.
Same, actually. I think it was my like great grandmother was just Native American.
They I had some Native American ancestors where I guess they were like, because they were Native American, they wanted to get some money from the government, and the government was like, okay, well, just send us a picture of your kids, because it's like because they had kids and stuff. So they had 3 different kids. One of them had the very dark Native American skin, and the other 2 were super fucking pale. They decided to send in the picture of the pale kids, and the government was like, these aren't Native American kids, and they denied them the money, and they're like, I don't know what the problem was.
You played yourself.
They're like, oh my god, I come from a line of idiots.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah.
Keep firing, assholes.
And before someone says something, it's not racist because it's my family.
Well, let's just
But
like,
you're white.
we can just call something out right here. If you have a problem with like racist humor, and I'm not saying like we are racist because we're not, but like I find humor in sexist stuff, racist stuff, whatever. People like, you can't laugh at a rape joke. I'm sorry, but it depends on the joke. I might find some things funny and some things not. Some people find 9/11 jokes funny. I generally don't, but
I find negativity very fucking funny in any sense.
and I find people that are easily offended, I find that offensive. So if you are an easily offended person, this is probably not the podcast for you, because I don't really believe in us censoring. YouTube's going to censor us anyway to a certain extent of like who can listen to us. So that's the thing. We're just here to like make people laugh and to make ourselves laugh.
Build a community.
Yeah. Of thick-skinned people that... Did you say white-skinned people? No, thick-skinned people. Racist!
No fatties, though.
Well, I guess I'm out then. Guess I'll leave.
Jesse's out too.
Oh, you just said thick-skinned. I felt like we... Wait. What?
You would be out. You've let yourself
I'm
go.
overweight, yeah. No,
Yeah, you let yourself go.
I am. But I got a lot of frame, so a lot of times people don't notice.
I mean, I'm really working on my diet. Like, I'm really serious about, like, getting into shape.
As you eat a cookie.
Fitness is my passion.
Yeah, fitness and dick in your mom's ass.
Oh my god!
That's too far.
I feel like we went a little bit too far in a couple of places.
Okay, that leads us to a perfect segue. Can we talk about our love for George Lucas? Come on.
Oh my god.
Give me 5 minutes.
Absolute mad lad. Absolute genius.
Why do people hate on him so much? And they're like, George Lucas ruined my childhood. You wouldn't have the same childhood without him.
Well, that's the thing. So when people watched, like, because there's some people where they will denounce anything after the original Episode 4 Star Wars, and because that's the thing is like whenever you come into any kind of, I mean, anything like that, people are going to watch it and they're going to have this kind of. They're going to kind of build this world in their own mind and have these kind of, build these notions of like what that world is to them. And so anything outside of that is not what that world is supposed to be and what they think it is. But in reality, it's what George Lucas wants it to be and what he believes it is. And I mean, we have notes. We've seen the notes in his notes of like all of these things that it's like, oh no, he's always had these ideas.
Tell the people that are like shit on the midichlorians thing. They're like,
Yeah.
that wasn't in the original Star Wars. I'm like, I guarantee he like probably came up
It's
with
in
it.
his earliest
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
It's in some of his earliest. It's same with the Wills. The
Yeah.
Wills was how it was originally supposed to be told, but he decided to have it. It's sort of actually told through the eyes of the droids, essentially.
Yeah.
But it's like George Lucas had a vision from the beginning of what he wanted it to be. Like, yes, certain story threads changed and evolved, but like that's just writing. That's
Yeah.
how the writing process goes.
You got something you want to say?
I just think it's genius, like the locale he used, because George Lucas invented space, and I think that's like brilliant. To imagine an area between planets, like an ocean, but with no water in it, it was truly visionary. And I just think, there's a lot of people into like the whole thing now. It's this fantasy of things outside of the world. But it really was like when George Lucas was doing it, when the OG came in and was like, no, this area that you can go to multiple planets.
So space is fake.
What? The space. George Lucas made space. It's his. I feel like it was before copyrights were a thing.
Okay, but
so
the moon landing happened before the Star Wars movie came out.
that was the trailer for Star Wars. That was the trailer. He got government funding for that because
Okay.
we also had to beat Russia to the idea of space.
2001: A Space Odyssey that came out in the 60s.
That was
You don't even know what that is.
ghostwriting.
Okay. Okay, well, anyway, back on track with George Lucas. Yeah, what I want to say is that he is honestly my biggest inspiration to want to be a filmmaker. You guys are going to make the joke, obviously it wasn't that big of an inspiration because he's not making anything. No, I can watch his, like, making of episode 1. I can watch that, like, on repeat. Like, I used to do it, like, early in this year. I would just watch it because even though he's not the greatest, like, with dialogue and all that kind of stuff, it's just watching a guy that has that much passion for, like, his films and that, like, he's not going to be told no to with certain things. He's like, no, I want creative control. And, we're from the generation that loved the prequels, but we got these younger kids that don't really understand that. We have the older generation that's still around that just the original trilogy is all they want to talk about. And, I haven't put this on a podcast, but we've been dying to say this for a while. I saw Force Awakens, and I was like, I mean, it's okay, but I was like, I really didn't like a lot of that story, but you guys are telling me this is great. I'm like, okay. I wasn't like off of Star Wars' bandwagon. I was still willing to give the other movies a shot. Your guys' initial reaction to Force Awakens was what?
I mean, I really enjoyed it at first, and then as a bit of time passed, and as like really discussed it more, I was like, it's definitely got a lot of weak points. But the thing for me about Force Awakens is that I think in the end it could have been
So much better.
It could have been a lot more, but the problem was that it hinged really, really greatly on the next two movies being good. If the next two movies were like outstanding and gave us the payoffs that The Force Awakens had set up, I think The Force Awakens would have actually maintained being a really solid movie. But the problem is that episode 8 and 9, well, I mean, do I really even need to say
We'll
at
get
this point?
No, let's screw it. We'll get into it. But hold on real quick. When you were watching Force Awakens and they had the moment where they're like, where'd you get Luke's lightsaber or whatever? And she's like, a good question for another time. Your reaction to that was what? Jesse called that out from the spot. I remember he said that. He was like, that's just lazy writing.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is. Well, that's another thing is that, like, that's the lightsaber that was lost on Cloud City.
Yeah, it's down in the
Like you're
depths of
telling
summer.
me that you went down on this gas giant. Like, there's no ground down there.
Couldn't you just? Yeah, it's like, couldn't you just make a lightsaber quicker than it would take to do that? You could find a saber crystal. I feel like that would. Kyber, whatever. You're not a real Star Wars fan.
Fucking poser, get out of here.
I don't know. Remind me again, which one's The Force Awakens?
The Force Awakens is the one where basically it starts out where Rey's on like a desert planet and she finds a droid that has plans for a battle station. I know that sounds very familiar to a previous Star Wars movie. And basically she runs into a person that's going to be her acquaintance for the rest of the trilogy that may or may not have Force abilities. And anyway, they end up on a space station that can blow up planets, and they have to blow that up. And that's the finale of the movie. Have you seen that movie before?
I don't know.
Multiple times, actually. That's the thing. As I have seen people give George Lucas some crap for the fact that, like, he had a Death Star in Episode 4, and then they brought it back in Episode 6.
Worked
and it's
for
like,
me. It worked for me.
I can understand people being like, yeah, but we've seen the Death Star before, and I totally get that. But then they fucking did it again in Episode 9, and it's like, okay, twice was one thing, but then they were like, yeah, but what if we made it bigger this time? I was like, no, that's stupid.
But it's a whole planet now.
Yeah, and oh man, you can shoot this laser all the way anywhere in the galaxy. Yeah, they're going to fire the laser, and it's going to take hundreds of years for those lasers to ever make it to the planet. In no one's lifetime in any of those movies are any of those shots ever going to make it to another planet.
Well, here's my question. Aren't there only so many planets in the solar system that you're in? So I'm like, if you build a Death Star that can't really space travel, like you're not moving. It's a planet. You built it on a planet.
Can we
it
talk
only
about the actual deadly part of the fucking Death Star that they had? The fact that its source of power was a sun. It had to fucking eat a star? That would kill everybody. Oh no, the thing that gives our planet life. Fuck.
There's so many flaws that weren't thought out, that's the thing. Force Awakens, I didn't think it was god awful at the time, but the acting, Daisy Ridley never got better with her acting.
That?
The main girl, Rey.
Who?
Rey Skywalker.
Don't
Yeah, that doesn't ring a bell to me.
Skywalker. Every fucking time. I'm like, what? If that's what you wanted to get, just make her a fucking Skywalker to begin with. At that point.
My thing is, no, the reason they did that, they wanted it both ways, Brendan. They wanted the coolness in the M. Night Shyamalan twist of like, you are a Palpatine. They wanted that would blow people's minds, but then they also wanted like, guys, she's part of the family now. She's a Skywalker.
You know what was really funny is the fact that her parents didn't matter, but her grandparents did.
You know, I've never even thought about that because it's just so far, like, fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, that's the movie that I wanted to see, was Palpatine making a baby with someone, like, force them. That's what I wanted to see.
Damn it. Well, that's the thing is, like, people predicted that Rey was probably a Palpatine. Tons of people predicted this, like, from The Force Awakens. People were talking about that. They're like, oh, she's going to be a Palpatine, and here's all these reasons why, and we had all these links and connections. And then, like, whenever it's finally revealed, it's just, like, it just feels so shoehorned in, where they just kind of did a quick search where they were like, what do other people think it is? Yeah, that's fine. We'll put them on a dartboard and just throw darts.
It did feel like that's the problem when you don't have one singular creator's vision, like Lucas, which we've talked about before.
Or a plan in any way whatsoever.
Right, but the prequels, the reason why we feel like they work, one, we were kids at the time, so we have a nostalgia for them. We don't deny that. But two, the plot was never the problem. The plots of those movies was never the problem. It was the acting or too much CGI or something like that, or, you know, the Jar Jar might get on people's nerves, or little Annie gets on people's nerves. Yay, whoopee, whatever.
Whoopee!
But I would rather watch that all day long than sit there and be like, none of this makes any sense, but you know when movies, like, actually think they're good? Like, the movie's not laughing at itself, it actually thinks it's good. That's what the new Star Wars trilogy was. They really thought they were good, and I'm like, and just everyone around me was, like, buying into it, and it was painful. Mm. And now I'm at least happy that now most people and most, like, media outlets will acknowledge the sequel trilogy sucked.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I just looked up the definition of the word dyad because it's been killing me, and I've never
dyad in the Force or whatever.
Yeah, I never looked it up. Something that consists of two elements or parts, like the mother-child dyad. That's a dyad. Simply when
connection.
Two things relate to each other.
So they have a connection to the Force, but we weren't ever told what that is.
Yeah, it's just a connection.
Well, they wanted to bang each other.
Wasn't it that, like, the connection was, like, created by Snoke somehow or something? That's what I remember.
Then they threw,
not that Snoke really mattered in any way.
Then they threw that away. Rian Johnson, this villain that people are actually interested in knowing his backstory. Let's kill him. And what's the purpose of that? There doesn't need to be a purpose.
And now you're turning the lightsaber towards your enemy. And you're going to turn the lightsaber on, and it's going to stab the enemy of your true... I feel like, as intelligent as they tried to play that character off as, man, that was fucking stupid.
It was like, the Emperor wouldn't fall for that.
Yeah.
And yet he did. And then it's like, in the third one, they're like, actually, you were the Emperor the whole time.
Here's the thing, is if I had the ability to, like, read someone's mind predictably, I feel like I'd know that they didn't like me and that they would consider me an enemy, and that, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't trust them being around some shit that I had that could cut me in half.
The whole thing sucked. The planning sucked.
The light speed jump into a second ship was fucking awesome.
It was cool, but then it comes with the thing of, like, why haven't we done this before?
Technically, it doesn't work the way they did it.
Right, but I agree with you. It was a cool scene.
It was fucking awesome.
But that's, like, the only thing that I like from that movie.
Yeah.
Because Luke, what was the deal breaker for me was they ruined Luke Skywalker as a character. Because that, like, Mark Hamill even said it. He was like, that's not Luke Skywalker. He's like, that. What did he say? He was like, that's Luke somebody else. He's like, but that's not the Luke Skywalker that I played.
Now, if we want to talk about some Star Wars that's actually good, though.
Rogue One.
Rogue One was really good. And Andor was incredible.
Andor what?
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Jesse. The joke will never be funny.
I thought it was pretty funny. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
It's Andor.
What?
Andor is like...
But you keep, like, not finishing your sentence.
It's because this motherfucker over here. The show is absolutely incredible. It's like one of the... It might actually be some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen.
My tinnitus is kicking in.
Yeah.
Your ears aren't ringing?
A little bit.
Okay, it's my tinnitus. All right.
A little bit. I mean, the scenes, I feel like they spent a little bit too long inside of that prison, but it's whatever.
Oh, have you watched all of it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that just leaves me out of it.
I didn't think that they spent too long on anything.
I feel I get that it's supposed to be like, oh, he misfortunate like thing that happened to him where he's like, oh, he's sent to the fucking prison or whatever because of like basically nothing when he actually does like belong in prison.
Well, it's because he was. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it because Porter hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of like really interesting things that there's a lot of like really interesting discussions around like why that happens, and there's I don't really know how to say it without outright saying it.
The scene where he fights Vader,
Dude,
Oh
what?
yeah. Like, that scene was great.
Yeah.
Speaking of fighting Vader,
Yeah.
you want to talk about Obi-Wan? Did you actually watch it?
Yeah, I did, and no, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, well we're gonna do a quick thing. My takeaway after watching it, I said this to my pals here. I said the only thing I found worth watching was the final fight scene that they did. That basically there's like a 6-minute segment. You can look it up on YouTube. Watch that, and then don't watch the rest of the show.
In all honesty, I think that there wasn't quite enough shaky cam.
In that fight scene,
It just the whole
Jesus
series as a whole.
Christ.
There needed to be more.
Uh,
There
the-
was so much wrong with that show, and it sucks because there was so many little tidbits where it's just like, wow, this is really interesting. I like where they're going with this, and it's like you'd have one really good scene, and the very next scene is fucking terrible, where it's just everything about it is wrong. Like most of the action scenes just didn't make any sense. They were just poorly done in every way imaginable. The amount of times like characters would be like, oh, we're in this dangerous situation that we could honestly probably easily get out of, but we're gonna have this fake tension, and then all of a sudden we're just not in a fight scene anymore. Everything's just resolved. Like the one, I forget which episode of what it was, but they were on that some like city planet when he's going after Leia, and
planet.
they're shooting. There's the big shootout like on top of the buildings. It's
Wasn't
like
that-
nighttime and stuff.
that wasn't Coruscant.
No, that wasn't Coruscant.
Okay.
It was on like the second or third episode or something.
I mean, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, they're
Where like he
literally
ran
in
into
the.
that clone trooper that was on the streets.
No, it was like mercenaries or something coming after him.
No, I know what you're talking about. But in that episode, he ran into like a clone trooper that was like, and he like gave him some change. There was a clone trooper that was like homeless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just making sure we're on the same page with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like they're in this shootout in that scene, and he doesn't nothing like multiple shooters, multiple of the guys that he was fighting, they don't do anything to them. They're just suddenly not there.
Oh,
They don't die. They don't get removed. They're just suddenly not
So
there.
the Aikido guy on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Just all of a sudden, it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. He was still being chased by guys. How did they suddenly lose them when they were so perfectly on top of him this whole time?
You just step to one side.
Yeah, basically.
They got despawned. What do you not understand?
That's a better explanation than anything I think that show could have given.
I don't understand. They got despawned.
Okay, but do you at least agree with me that the scene where Obi-Wan's like asking him like, Anakin, are you he's like, Anakin, like, are you still in there? And like he's like, Anakin's gone, like, and he basically like, you didn't kill Anakin, I did. Like, you gotta make
Yeah,
that
that's like part of the really cool stuff, and it's also really unfortunate because whenever we found out that it was supposed to be a movie, and we actually kind of heard the original writer talk about like his plans for the 3 different movies and how it was all going to kind of tie together and how the story was going to flow. It honestly, I mean, it sounded like it was going to be it sounded amazing.
Well, I think most of these stories that they turn into TV shows, they get elongated because let's be honest, the Obi-Wan episodes were I think an hour long a piece, and how many episodes was it? Like 6?
6 episodes.
6?
Okay.
Okay, that's 6 hours of content where it would have worked better as a 2-hour feature film, and then you give people a couple years of a break, like let's say 2 years, they process it, and then they grow to want it again. But when you just shove it into everyone's face at once, a lot of these stories, I've said it many times, these stories they put into shows they don't work when the story is not worth stretching out for 6 hours. Like, that's not worth it. What they gave us is not worth 6 hours when I just told the audience 6 minutes is all you really need. That's all that was good, and everything else was not good.
And that's the thing. It's like, it also, I've seen other people say this as well with the whole, like, storyline with Leia, is that in, like, what was it, episode 2, whenever he initially rescued her, that should have been the end of that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, we can't, we have 4 more episodes to fill, so we gotta find more trouble to get into. Right. And it's just terrible.
Yeah. Well, like, I just want to be clear. Our fault with it is not anything to do with Ewan McGregor or Hayden Christensen, because I thought they were great.
It's the writing and the pacing.
It's the writing and the pacing, but I'm saying it's not Ewan McGregor's acting.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought most of the characters, most of the actors did a pretty good job.
Except for the one girl.
Yeah,
she was terrible. We talked about this at the time, that the way to make a female character menacing and intimidating is not to have her screaming, because men don't find women screaming intimidating. But if you have a woman that's cold and calculating...
I don't think in general men find screaming at all intimidating.
That's true. Okay, yeah, you're probably true. Guy or girl. Well, I'm just saying, like, with a man, if a man was, like, furious and had, like, a temper issue and he was extremely powerful, I feel like as another guy, we can be like, okay, that guy's, like, a loose cannon, so, like, I gotta stay away from him.
I don't know.
She just came across as, like, a petulant child.
I feel like in order to make screaming, like... scary in any sense, you have to make it almost inhuman, bestial, maybe.
Yeah. Like, it sounds like, you're part animal, where it's like, ooh, okay, like that sounds like that's terrifying. Yeah, she just sounded like she was just, I don't know how.
And that's something that, when you watch Andor, you get, characters like Mon Mothma, who is extremely intelligent, very cold, calculating, like, not in like a villainous way.
Andor.
Shut the fuck up. But like she's obviously she's
terribly,
and I'm gonna continue doing it too. But like obviously she doesn't do these things in a villainous way, but it's very she's starting a rebellion, so it's behind everybody's back doing somewhat illegal things. But as you watch the show, you're just like, I would not want to be on this person's bad side.
Yeah.
Like, Mon Mothma she's a badass. I would not fuck with her.
What I liked a lot is, like, the guy, the, like, patron guy? Don't remember his name. From Andor.
The old guy?
Yeah, the older guy.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking loved that dude. The scene with him and the ship escaping, that shit was fucking insane.
The scene where he like first kind of puts it's not really a disguise per se, but he first puts like the wig on. I immediately thought, why does this dude look like the professor?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because all I thought was many Magic the Gathering players.
I was like, anyone that's not familiar, yeah, that's a Magic the Gathering reference. When you said the professor, I was like, maybe some people like the Professor X.
Yeah. No.
Welcome, Professor.
But no, A, who the fuck is this guy? And B, I loved like the fact of like just how much his life is just sacrifice. It's just I live for this, and I don't want to, but someone has to.
Mm-hmm. God, this show was so fucking good. Yeah. You need to watch it.
Okay.
We need to watch it.
We need to sit down and
watch it. Are you doing anything tomorrow?
Yeah, I work from 2 to midnight.
God
I picked up an extra shift because it's all time and a half.
That's my shift.
Okay, I mean, that's fair, you know.
Because, I could use some extra money.
Yeah, I bet you could.
Yeah, we'll have to find a time that will offer you.
Like $4 extra?
Okay. Okay, well, we're at an hour. That's the thing. What's the runtime? We're at an hour and 9 minutes. What's the runtime you guys want to do?
This is good. This is a nice little snippet. And
then play.
Snippet.
We're going to play Halo after this?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, just to add this on, because I just want to do a little quick 5-minute about Halo for anyone. If you guys would want Halo content, on this channel, because this channel is basically about giving people whatever I find entertaining. And I say you guys as well. But like whatever we find entertaining, that's kind of just all I want to put out there. This whole channel is just for anything. So
Yep.
if you guys, I play Halo Master Chief Collection, and Reach is Jesse, explain to the kids why is Halo Reach the best Halo game that they ever made?
The assassinations. When you hear the, you know you're fucked already.
Okay.
You know you're fucked.
Headshot from all the way across the map, or sticking a knife in someone's back that doesn't expect it. What's more satisfying?
Sticking. I'm gonna go with option C. Absolute dunking someone when they're mid jump. That shit's the best.
So you have an Xbox, or you have it on PC? Didn't you say you have it on PC?
Yeah, I've got Master Chief
Yeah.
Collection.
Why can we just play?
I mean,
Yeah.
is it cross-platform?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, because we play with people that aren't
Would-
mouse and keyboard.
Are you actually down to jump on? Are you like too tired now, or what?
Oh, what time is it?
It's
almost 2.
Almost 2.
Oh shit! I will fuck up my sleep schedule if I stay.
Okay,
longer.
but we should do it another time though. We should, because I keep forgetting that you actually do have it on PC.
Yeah.
Because you'd actually have it. Because I could just one time I could just bring over like my Xbox and I could hook it up to your TV, and then you're playing on your.
Maybe if I get this laptop, bro, I could just.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet. Real quick, I just want to say yes, Halo Reach, for kind of the reasons he said. The assassinations, whenever I play another Halo game and it doesn't have the assassinations, just not as good.
Yeah.
Just not as good.
When you just walk up to someone and smack them on the back and they're just in a ragdoll, it's funny, but it's not quite.
It's not the assassinations.
I want some personal.
Because
I want some alone time with my victim.
this should tell you how good the assassinations, like that feeling, how good it feels. You will pass up, like being like, I know I can kill this person by just shooting them ahead. So I'm passing up on the kill just to try to get the assassination.
I will let an enemy team member kill literally my entire team.
No, mainly just me.
And
Mainly
the
just me.
porter. Just to sneak up behind them and kill them with a knife. God, it's so awesome.
Favorite map on Reach? Boardwalk?
Yeah, Boardwalk. Yeah.
Not Powerhouse.
Powerhouse is good. Powerhouse isn't even second place.
Countdown. No, you like sword base because you can. Yeah, you like sword base because you can
There's
have the
some
spot.
real stupid shit you can do in
You
sword
like the
base.
spot?
Yeah. There's some real stupid
What's your? Oh, but countdown. Countdown has that spot for you. Where,
Countdown's okay, but people start to expect that spot after getting hit like once or twice.
I know, but it's always a guarantee because you know that you can get
It is,
people.
it is guaranteed.
For anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, he literally just goes on these maps and his whole goal is just assassinations. That's it.
I'll sit in corners behind doors and just wait for you to walk through. And then...
If he gets into a firefight with someone, he just starts spazzing out. He's like, "Oh, they're looking at me. Handgun? I don't know."
I don't like being looked at. In fact, if I get into a firefight, my option number 1 is to run away. And I'll just continue to run and then sit behind a door until they run past and stab them in the back.
If they made like a Halo game, but it was like all modern weapons were gone and you just had a knife.
That would be the dream.
Yeah.
It reminds me of playing Call of Duty, gun game, where there's no point to meleeing someone to death because all it does is send them back a weapon. You don't go up a weapon,
Yeah.
but you can make that shit last forever by just doing that shit, and people would scream at you.
I think we have like 46 subscribers on this channel right now.
Yeah.
So if you guys would want to see Halo content in the future, I'd be more than happy to like stream us like actually playing Reach. And just when I say Reach, we can play more games on Master Chief Collection, but we really just want to play Reach and that's it. So Reach has a special place in my heart. It's the game that I quit college for. I mean, so that means a lot to me. All those future ambitions that I had that I was like, yeah, you know what's more important? Headshot, domes, getting domes. That's what I care about. Okay. Well, I guess we can wrap it up there. We don't really know the name of this podcast yet. I'm thinking like maybe like 3 Nerds in a Pod or something like that. You know, that might already be taken.
I think To Be Decided is pretty good.
Like the number 2 B, like not the beast.
Like
Decided.
like the B movie, yeah.
Yeah.
You like jazz?
That's actually not bad. Maybe we could do To Be Decided. I don't mind it. I don't know. I was thinking because it's the three of us, maybe we'd have to incorporate 3 into something.
I don't know. I think that
Menage a pod?
Maybe decided? That doesn't make any sense.
I think that fucking thing about like the Transformers, Rise of the Bees. Maybe that's our hallmark is bees. Maybe that's
I
our
can't.
hallmark.
No, I can't take that seriously. No.
Come on, man.
No. Okay, we'll come up with something. I'll title this something. But if you guys, like I said, I don't even care. I mean, if you guys want to listen, that's great. But if I get one comment that's like, "Hey, good job, love the podcast," then that's enough for me. Like that makes me want to keep going.
It's
might
okay. Most
comment.
people clicked off like 10 minutes ago. So
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, anyway, it's episode 1 signing off. Looking forward to episode 2. Oh, it's still recording. We just sound like